Well, staggering data comes out about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky and Angel Reese. And you won't believe what it is. Recently, Chicago Skies and the Indiana Fever played, and they drew record numbers. But before we get off into today's video, tell a friend to tell a friend. Well, what they always say, women lie, men lie, but stats don't. Let's give a round of applause to the ladies of the WNBA featuring Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever and Angel Reese of the Chicago Sky. Now, you know, they recently played this past Saturday where the Indiana Fever beat the Chicago Sky 91-83, where Caitlin Clark posted 23 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, and also she was damn near had a triple-double. Angel Reese put up 11 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists. But the Chicago Skies fell twice to the Indiana Fever this year in the young WNBA season. But that game drew major viewership. Now, a lot of people are going to say that it's all because of Caitlin Clark. But let's go ahead and get this and put this in perspective. Caitlin Clark has played 15 games in her WNBA career. And the game against Angel Reese, her rival, drew the most viewership and the most views in 23 years in the WNBA. Now, the WNBA been in existence for 27 years, and this game that they played this past Saturday was the most watched WNBA game in 23 years. And it's not just because of Caitlin Clark. She went up against Angel Reese. Now, Angel Reese brought something to the table as well. So for people that's just going to say that it's solely put on Caitlin Clark is the one that everybody tuned in to watch, you got it mistaken, because the fact is that, like I stated, Caitlin Clark has been playing these other teams, and it's not drawing that viewership as much as when she went up against Angel Reese, because, like I stated, them two are becoming a rivalry, and the media is going to make it their business to make them two a rivalry. So what did it do? It drew attention to the WNBA, and fans and people wanted to see that game. Now, that game last Saturday put up some astronomical numbers. I mean, it was almost ridiculous on the numbers that they put up. Let's take a look at the numbers that they put up on last Saturday. CBS Sports presentation of the Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever most watched WNBA game on any network in 23 years. 2.25 million average viewers, up plus 225% versus last year's comparable game window between Phoenix and New York. Game peaked with nearly 3 million viewers. Paramount delivered its most streamed WNBA game ever across households, minutes, and average minute audience. CBS Sports. And that's a report from the WNBA. Now, what's that say? These two are hot commodities. These two are hot commodities. And the Fever and Sky on CBS was the most watched WNBA game in 23 years. Those invested in the WNBA, from Hall of Fame players such as Sue Bird to WNBA's commissioner Kathy Engelbert, have repeatedly echoed how important it is for the WNBA to develop rivalries, like I stated. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to develop a rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Whether those rivalries are between franchises or individual players, rivalries have always sold sports as content play. and they often carry the viewership model when it comes to nationally televised games. Based on viewership, it seems the WNBA has found itself a hot one, like I stated, and everybody came at me saying that it's not a rivalry and that's not what they're trying to do. Trust and believe. I know what I'm talking about, and that's what the media is trying to do, and that's what the WNBA is trying to do with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, because the way they're being covered in anything that's pertaining Caitlin Clark or anything pertaining Angel Reese is national media news. And when Angel Reese had that flagrant foul on Caitlin Clark, it made CNN headline news. So what is that telling you? That they are trying to create them two as a rivalry to get the viewership up in the WNBA, and it's working. CBS telecast for the Fever 91-83 win over the Sky on Sunday averaged 2.25 million viewers. That is great. That game featured 3 of the top 7 picks in April's WNBA draft: Caitlin Clark, Camila Cardoso, and Angel Reese. Clark and Reese, of course, have played in some of the most highly viewed women's basketball games in history, including Iowa's win over LSU and this year's Elite Eight game, which averaged 12.3 million viewers on ESPN. 1 year earlier, when LSU won over Iowa in the 2023 championship, averaged then a record 9.9 million viewers and peaked at 12.6 million viewers. Now, guys, I'm here to tell you, now we got to give kudos to both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese for putting attention on the NBA. Now, I know you guys are going to say that it's all Caitlin Clark. We got to stop that. We giving kudos to Caitlin Clark. We know Caitlin Clark is the cash cow, and she's putting fans in seats. But Angel Reese is doing the same, because the game that they played, and it featured Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, look what the numbers did. The numbers shot up, skyrocketed. Now, that's try to find another game that is going to draw that much viewership. Now, you know, the third game between Indiana and Chicago is coming up this weekend, so we're going to see what kind of numbers that draw. But you guys, don't tell me that Angel Reese is not a hot commodity and she's not a draw just like Caitlin Clark. Because like I stated earlier, Caitlin Clark has played these other teams and them numbers are not like that. But when she played against Angel Reese, what happened? Them numbers skyrocketed. So we got to call a spade, and we got to be fair across the board. These two young ladies, let's give them a round of applause, because what they're doing for the WNBA is a great thing. And like I stated, the media and the WNBA is trying to get their rivals together. And this is what's happening right before our eyes, and it's working. And it got eyes on these WNBA games, and it got people tuned in to watch these two battle. The WNBA is doing a great job, and I'm here for it. But come on now, Angel Reese has a say in this too. She's getting viewerships as well. But Caitlin Clark, you know, she's the headliner. But Angel Reese is dancing at the party as well. She got her dancing shoes on too. And like I stated, them numbers is astronomical. And, you know, the WNBA been around for 27 years, and this is the most viewed WNBA game ever in 23 years. Some of y'all haven't been around as that long. So just give kudos to these young ladies for what they're doing in the WNBA, and stop trying to make them be enemies off the court, because it's not like that. What they do on the court is business, and it's good for the WNBA. So you guys, let me know what y'all think down in the comments section. I would love to hear from you. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. And remember, on your way out the door, when you put your shoes on, do me a favor. Give this video a thumbs up.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.